It may be months away, but San Antonio is already preparing for the next fiesta. The Party with a Purpose has so many events, including King William Fair, and tickets are already on sale for general admission. We have all the details right now on ksat.com. Ahead in our next hour, working out a key for a healthier lifestyle. So which exercises are best for you? We'll hear from some experts. And we've got a incident right now, 35 and New Braunfels, also 35 and Division. We're seeing flashing lights in a couple different spots right now. We will get more information from Stephen Cavazos coming up. And Katrina Weber is out live at the fatality incident right now. A person has died after being struck by a vehicle.
This morning, a man is dead and another is on the run after an argument turned violent. We're going to tell you how it all began.
Good morning. The Fed's main interest rate is now at its highest level in 15 years. And while this rate hike was smaller than previous increases, it caps off a year of the most aggressive Fed policy in decades.
He was a charismatic performer known for spreading joy. This morning, look back at the life of the man known as Twitch.
And taking a look out there with live cam this morning, the cold weather has arrived. It is 36 degrees right now.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. We made it to mid-month, December 15th, and it's finally feeling like December again around here.
Yeah, that's welcome news for a lot of people, especially our Mike Osterhage.
That's
10
right.
days till Christmas.
10 days till Christmas. When we came in, it was about 38 degrees. We've already dropped down to 36 out at the airport.
Yeah, and a lot of folks are hitting freezing where you've already hit freezing so far this year out in portions of the hill country. We're not going to be hitting it this morning officially out there at the airport. Maybe in about a week or so. We'll have to wait and see on that one, though. But lots of clear skies out there this morning. It is going to be, I've been saying all morning long, a spectacular sunrise. Yesterday's sunset was just beautiful, and it was a great evening to walk around, drive around, look at some of the Christmas lights out there. This is going to be a great night for it as well. Freezing right now, Burning Stage, Comfort 28-31 in Kerrville, Bulverde, same thing. We're at 36 right now officially out there at the airport. Same thing, Port SA, Converse, as the Helotes just dropped to 35 degrees. And Mountain Cedar, now you think back, the front moved through, and that was on Tuesday evening. The wind started to pick up, so this was that first little bit of wind, and we got the reading yesterday morning. Then yesterday was very windy all day long, so it's going to be interesting to see what that number does when the updated count comes out in about, say, hour and a half, roughly 7:30 this morning. Mold was on the high side yesterday. That should be dropping down given the fact we've had this dry air around here. And temperatures will continue to drop down another degree or two, 35 bottoming out out there at the airport. And if it's 35 at the airport, again, in some of the outlying areas, even in and around San Antonio, you could touch freezing in your backyard. 63 at noon, and then high temperature is going to make it up to 67 degrees, so just about exactly where it should be. Going to stay on the cool side all the way through at least the next 7 days, and the weekend's going to be even cooler. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a stay inside sort of a weekend. It's not a bad idea. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos got big problems out there.
Yeah, we're tracking a lot over here, Mike. Unfortunately, the morning commute is riddled with trouble, as we said a little bit earlier. But now this is a shot we showed you as we went to commercial break. 35 at New Braunfels. Speaking to our friends at TransGuide over the phone, we can report that this is along the frontage road, but right now we are working to find out exactly what this is. It could be a crash or it could be something else, but right now it's obviously not a good situation. So just, again, something to be on the lookout for there. 35 and right along those northbound lanes is where that incident is being reported, but thankfully no incidents or no major delays in that area of traffic. So just watch out. Again, that is along the frontage road there along 35 near New Braunfels Avenue. But we do have to get back down here to 35 northbound at Division Avenue, where we do have that serious incident involving a pedestrian and a pickup truck. But of course, we have our Katrina Weber, who is live there on the scene right now. Katrina, this actually started with the crash involving an earlier crash, I should say.
Well, that's right. The woman who was hit and killed actually was a driver involved in a previous crash when she was actually hit and killed by another vehicle involved. That other vehicle is this pickup truck right here behind me. You can see it has a lot of front end damage to it. The police are calling this really a horrible accident. They say the driver of this pickup simply did not see the woman who was out of her car at the time. But again, this started with an initial crash involving an 18-wheeler and then the car that that the woman was in. They got involved in some sort of a crash. Both drivers there got out of their cars to exchange information, and police say that's when the pickup came along, not seeing the woman who was in the car or who had been in the car, hit her and killed her. Now the pickup truck ended up here on the access road. This started on the exit ramp of the highway. Pickup ended up on the access road. The woman was knocked probably about 10 to 20 yards in front of this truck. Police still have this area shut down as they are investigating the scene. This is affecting both the exit ramp of 35 at Division as well as this northbound access road. All of this shut down until that investigation is completed. Reporting live on the south side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. One person is dead and another is on the run after a stabbing on the city's northeast side. This happened around 8:15 last night at an apartment complex on Perrin-Bile Road, not far from Austin Highway. That is where police say two men who knew each other began arguing, and that fighting led to one of the men stabbing the other. The victim was taken to the hospital where he later died. So far, that suspect has not been arrested. Police say he will likely face a murder charge.
A MacArthur High School teacher who was arrested for allegedly sexually assaulting one of her students is out of jail. 49-year-old J. Casey Stewart was arrested December 8th, and according to court records, she paid her $150,000 bond the next day and was released. Her charges stem from December 6th when police say she began leaving messages for the 16-year-old student. Stewart later went to the teen's apartment, picked him up, and drove him to a motel where authorities say Stewart sexually assaulted the teen.
San Antonio police investigators want to know if multiple SAPD officers broke department rules during a bar fight that was caught on camera. So this was back in Helotes in October. One man identified as an off-duty sergeant can be seen grabbing a woman and tossing her aside. San Antonio police say they are working with officers in Helotes to gather more information in this investigation.
Interest rates are going up again, and the Fed says you can expect more hikes next year. The boost in the last meeting of the year, 0.5%. That after 4 straight hikes of 3/4 of a point. But the Fed indicated that they are more likely to try and curb inflation. We're going to have more on this coming up later on GMSA. Travel demand still strong, and that is Delta Airlines raising its profit outlook for the fourth quarter, and driven by expectations that Americans will keep traveling. Announced that it expects adjusted earnings to nearly double next year compared to this year. Shoppers looking for bargains now seeing more store brands in supermarkets. The Wall Street Journal says sales of private label products have surged in recent months as shoppers wrestle with inflation that is still running at more than 7%.
YouTube is stepping up against abuse. The site is sending notifications to viewers whose abusive comments have been removed for violating YouTube's rules. Now, if that viewer continues posting similar comments, they will be banned from commenting for 24 hours. WhatsApp is improving its video calling features. The platform now supports video calls for up to 32 people, just like FaceTime. That's up from an 8-person limit. There's also a new option to share a call link. And the long-awaited video game style phenomenon known as Super Nintendo World will open its doors at Universal Studios Hollywood on February 17th. Its main attraction will be Mario Kart, Bowser's Challenge, described as an augmented reality-powered go-kart simulator inspired by Nintendo's racing franchise.
A lot going on there.
I know.
A reminder, we don't want you to forget about the Share the Shoes campaign, which ends tomorrow. You can donate a new pair of shoes or socks to a child in need.
So all these donations can be dropped off at any of the locations on your screen. Then they go to Zapatos, which works with schools to help kids get the shoes they need.
And thanks to everybody who has contributed to the Share the Shoes this month. 6:08 right now, 36 degrees.
Severe weather is impacting much of the country right now, including heavy hit Louisiana, where we know at least 3 people have been confirmed dead. Coming up a little later, we're going to take a look at that damage.
And outside with a live cam down to 36 degrees. Mike says some of you are already at freezing this morning. What does our weekend look like? How cold will it get? We'll talk to Mike coming up in just moments. But first.
Now to the sudden death of a performer who made us laugh on the Ellen DeGeneres Show. He was known as Twitch. Everyone from Michelle Obama to Justin Timberlake paying tribute. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
The shocking death of a charismatic dancer and TV personality is raising awareness of suicide prevention.
Hello, good morning, tell me what the lick read.
DJ Stephen Boss, known as Twitch, rose to fame on So You Think You Can Dance, then became a fixture on the Ellen DeGeneres Show.
It's a candy.
Twizzler.
It's it's like chocolatey, bite-sized situations.
I count on him to look over at and make silly jokes, and he's my pal, you know, he's my sidekick.
More recently, Twitch became popular on social media, posting uplifting videos. Police say the 40-year-old took his own life in a Los Angeles hotel room early Tuesday. In a social media video just one day earlier, Twitch and his wife were seen dancing in front of their Christmas tree. And last week, the couple decorating for the holiday with their kids. Staff members tell TMZ Twitch did not look visibly upset when he checked into the hotel. Nationwide, experts say suicide rates have been declining for white Americans, but not for minorities. Experts say common risk factors are mental health issues, substance abuse, and financial stress. On a podcast 5 years ago, Twitch shared this uplifting message about overcoming hardships.
You will make decisions that might seem right at the time, but then they're not. Like, you know what I mean? And for me, it does. It just helps to know that, like, it keeps going. It does. It no matter what, even if something seems very devastating, like there's some kind of force that's going to keep going, and it's there for you to naturally access.
The tributes now pouring in for Twitch. Former First Lady Michelle Obama calling him an incredible force, and Justin Timberlake calling Twitch's death heartbreaking, writing, "You just never know what someone is really going through."
Welcome back. 6:14. Big news for the economy. The Federal Reserve has now raised interest rates for the 7th and final time this year. The Fed increased its benchmark rate by half a percentage point and signaled more rate hikes ahead to help bring down inflation. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has more on what it means for us and our money.
For American consumers and businesses, the cost of borrowing money is set to get more expensive. The Federal Reserve raising its key interest rate by half a percentage point, the 7th rate hike in a year, as it stays on a mission to fight stubbornly high inflation.
We understand the hardship that high inflation is causing. Data received so far for October and November show a welcome reduction, but it will take substantially more evidence to give confidence that inflation is on a sustained downward path.
Fed policymakers also signaled interest rates will rise more than expected next year. Their goal, to lower prices in the economy by slowing down spending. The Fed's rate hikes this year mean someone carrying a $5,000 balance on a credit card is now paying $1,600 more in interest. A borrower looking to take out a fixed 30-year, $300,000 mortgage will now spend at least $500 more every month than at the start of the year, simply because of higher rates.
Activity in the housing sector has weakened significantly, largely reflecting higher mortgage rates.
Despite higher borrowing costs, the American jobs market has been resilient, with the unemployment rate sitting near a 50-year low. Many businesses like Cuzzo's Chicken and Waffles in Michigan are still struggling to hire enough workers.
A lot of the old school methods we would use, just posting a sign or posting an ad, those don't work anymore. You have to make your business somewhere where people want to work.
The big question is if the Fed's moves will tip the economy into a recession. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell says no one knows the answer. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
And back here at home, let's get a quick look here at 35 at South Cross. Now, this is a different shot from TransGuide. In fact, I was talking to them earlier. This is actually that incident that's been taking place for quite a while. We're getting the backside of this. Actually, these are the southbound lanes that we're seeing, but the incident is taking place in the northbound lanes. And of course, you can see plenty of activity out there. Unfortunately, that is that incident involving the pedestrian and vehicle, where we do know that at least one woman is dead from her injuries. But we are going to watch it closely. 35 northbound at Division Avenue. Right now, that exit is closed because it is still pretty much an active investigation. So watch out if you're traveling through those northbound lanes, making your way into the Alamo City. You'll likely see those flashing lights out there. And still watching this incident along I-35 northbound at New Braunfels Avenue. We still have plenty of flashing lights out there, but TxDOT or TransGuide has not confirmed exactly what we're looking at. I can report that that is along the frontage roads near New Braunfels Avenue. So again, something else to be on the lookout for. Now, the wide view of the map, thankfully, things are still pretty much in the clear as you see see that we have a lot of green as we're getting closer to morning rush hour. So perfect opportunity to take advantage of the roadways, but of course, always watch out carefully. Also want to make sure that we can pull up that QR code for you right now. And typically when we bring up this QR code is to let you know about any planned construction. But because of the roads being so riddled with trouble this morning, we've also been tweeting up about some of these incidents. So if you scroll to the side of the page, you'll see a full list of all the tweets of the current incidents as well. So just some good information before you get the morning started.
Thank you, Stephen. Kids, if you're eating cereal right now, just watching, getting ready for school, listen to Mom and Dad. This is definitely a jacket kind of day.
Yes, jacket, coat, all the above.
Yep, you may not need it by later on this afternoon. We will make it up into the upper 60s. Plenty of sunshine out there. However, we are going to, is the bus not going to roll? Is somebody leaving it warm to warm up?
They're still warming it up.
Still warming up the bus? Okay. Well, we'll go to this graphic instead. And necessity being the mother of invention, if you don't have snow to make a snowman, you use rocks.
I love it. Very creative. And a heart.
That's what you do in Rock Springs, Texas.
Yes, indeed. And I love that. There's a little smiley face and the eyes there. So perfect. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, clear skies out there and starting to, my imagination, starting to lighten up just a little bit. Sun won't be coming up for roughly another hour. And maybe it's just the glow of the street lights out there. Anyway, it is going to be a spectacular sunrise. 28 right now in Kerrville, 27 in Comfort. We're at 36 at the airport. Rio Medina, Valverde, both 31 degrees. And of course, in your backyard, even though that number says 33, you may be below freezing right now over there in Hondo. Same thing around Uvalde, even around the metropolitan area. There may be, some of the low-lying spots that are touching freezing. And there's a hint of a wind chill. Not much of a breeze, but just enough to add just a little bit of a nip to some of these temperatures. So 32 is what it feels like here in town. 30 Port SA, 27 is the wind chill right now at Hondo. And we don't have anything going on today, just nothing but clear skies out there. And then tomorrow we'll start off in overnight hours, clear skies, but fairly quickly some clouds are going to start to work their way back on in here. And that'll be the case throughout the morning commute. Now this model wants to scare up a sprinkler or two. I kind of doubt it, but there'll maybe one or two of them out there. And even through the day, a sprinkler is possible. But then by tomorrow night, that's going to be a slightly better chance for some rain as the next front tries to work its way through here and does work through into Saturday. And that's going to be the sort of reinforcing little push of some cooler air. So that'll keep us only in the upper 40s on Saturday. We're still going to be chilly tomorrow, upper 60s today, but only 60 tomorrow, thanks to a lot of that cloud cover. And then temperatures stay all the way through Thursday below normal. Wednesday being the official start of winter, and Thursday the first full day of winter. And even low temperatures are going to be staying, for the most part, at or below normal. Now, Monday, it does spike just a little bit, and then Thursday, that's going to be preceding the next front, which will move through here, and that's the one that is forecast to bring in a fairly decent chunk of cold air. But how cold, how long it's going to be staying, that is still very undecided as of right now. Here's what the long-range upper-level winds look like. We get the little reinforcing shot of cooler air coming on in. That's the big storm system right now that's been plaguing the country, if you will. And then that next batch of cold air starts brewing up there in Canada and starts to work its way in. And this particular model has this thing pretty much taking a path to the east of us. So we will get grazed by it, but as far as it coming right down on top of us, it does not look like that's going to be the situation. So we're still going to have to keep watching what may or may not happen going into Christmas weekend. 63 at noon today, sunny skies, and then high temperature makes it up to 67. Fantastic day. If you're going out tonight, though, take a jacket. It'll cool off quickly. Tomorrow, lots of clouds around, 60 high temperature, only upper 40s, couple of showers on Saturday as well as Monday, and temperatures are going to be staying on the cool side. Get good use out of that jacket. Seth, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. 622, 36 degrees.
There's a new lead in the murder of four Idaho College students as the parents of one of the victims voiced their frustration with the investigation. That's coming up next in your GMA First Look.
Moderate to severe eczema. It doesn't care if you have a date, a day off, or a double shift. Make your move and get out in front of eczema with steroid-free Sabinco. not an injection. Sabinco is a once-daily pill for adults who didn't respond to previous treatments, and it's proven to help provide clearer skin and relieve itch fast. Sabinco continuously treats eczema whether you're flaring or not.
Sabinco can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections and do blood tests. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, or are prone to infections. Do not take with medicines that prevent blood clots, serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, lung, skin, and other cancers. Serious heart-related events and blood clots can happen. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of serious heart-related events or death with JAK inhibitors.
It's time to get out in front of eczema. Ask your doctor about once daily Sabinco.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the parents of Idaho victim Kaylee Gonzalez sharing new insights about what they think happened the night of the brutal attacks.
I think this person went in very methodical. I think he really thought it out. I think he was quick. I think it was quiet, and he got in and he got out.
More than a month after the quadruple murder that has chilled the college town of Moscow, the family desperately seeking answers.
I mean, who can do something like this? You know, it's hard to think that you're looking at somebody who could even be possible.
Where are you? Who are you?
And calling for more help in the investigation.
This department's not as big as some of these other larger cities, so they need the community to help.
And coming up at 7 a.m., a possible new clue sent in as a tip from a local gas station worker as police zero in on a vehicle. With your GMA First Look, I'm Kana Whitworth, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Time now, 6:26 and 37 degrees for now.
You may remember some San Antonio City Council members recently made a push to ban horse-drawn carriages downtown. So what do San Antonians think about that proposal? We'll show you what one of our polls found coming up.
It puts our neighbors at danger. You know, who knows, that could have been my kid out here playing with one of those kids.
An argument overnight turns violent, leaving a little boy injured. We're going to tell you more about it.
It's heartbroken. I'm not even her mom, and I still feel some kind of way. Like, it's a baby. It's a little girl. What happened?
Almost 1 year has gone by since the sudden disappearance of Lena Kill, who was last seen playing at a Northwest Side apartment complex. We'll take a look at what has happened since then.
It's just going to be hard to accept, like, that this is happening a week before Christmas.
At least 3 people dead this morning in Louisiana after heavy hitting storms blew through that region. Other parts of the country also under severe weather watch this morning. We're going to have more.
And here at home outside with Live Cam, well, they've been telling us for days now that it was going to get cold again around here. And Mike was right about not only temperatures, but the fact that the sun is coming up. A little while ago, we told him he was nuts. Right now, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday. It is December 15th. What's that, Mike?
I said it's kind of on a regular basis. You tell me I'm.
No, that's not true. Yeah. That's all off camera.
But it was nice yesterday.
Oh, it was gorgeous yesterday in the afternoon, and then it stayed warmer yesterday morning because we still had the cloud cover on top of us. So.
I've been, for a while now, I've been wanting to clean out both my smokers, my own one, so I did it yesterday. The problem is I paid for it. It was a beautiful day, but the mountain cedar got me big time yesterday.
Yeah, mountain cedar, yesterday's reading. Now, this was from the wind that we had Tuesday night, which, you know, didn't have that long of a period to really shake up those trees. And then yesterday was windy all day long. So the updated count is going to be coming out in a while. But the latest count, I'm going to show you that in just a second here, is definitely on the high side. Here is the glow of the sunrise as of right now, and 36 degrees. So, yep, it is cold out there. First time it seems like in forever we have below normal temperatures. Dew points at 29, so we got clear skies, really dry air, not much of a breeze, but just enough of a breeze to take that 36 degrees. And by the way, a lot of freezing temperatures out there where you've already hit freezing so far this season. Slight bit of a wind chill, 32 at the airport, 27 Hondo, and 30 is what it feels like at Port SA. Again, the mountain cedar was on the high side yesterday, but this was taken before we had the windy conditions, like I said, all day long yesterday. So the updated count will come out in about an hour or so. Mold is also on the high side. That should be dropping down given the fact we've got this dry air. Clear cold this morning. Then today, sunny, just beautiful upper 60s. Yesterday we did touch 70, but of course we had a warmer start, so we're starting obviously from the 30s, and we're going to be gaining, though, when it's all said and done, 30 degrees on average. Now tomorrow, clouds going to move in here fairly quickly. We'll have clear skies overnight, so it'll be a cool start. Clouds come in here, and that's going to help to hold temperatures just at 60 for a high. Then we get a reinforcing shot of cooler air coming on in here. Lots of clouds over the weekend, couple of showers, especially on Saturday will be the better chance, albeit not a great chance, and much cooler. Highs only in the upper 40s on Saturday, low 50s on Sunday. It's going to be staying cool into next week as well. Details on that in just a couple of minutes. Traffic authorities, Steven, still got those big issues out there?
We've had a busy morning over here, Mike. Unfortunately, the problems seem to be adding up here. 35 at Topperwine. All right, we're going to start here. I was speaking to our friends over at TransGuide. We're talking on the phone. We have a crash actually reported, and it looks like this could be in the southbound lanes, and that's not a good area because a lot of folks are making their way into the Alamo City, perhaps from New Braunfels or maybe even from Schertz. That's why we're seeing that buildup right there. Look at that red that's just stretched out there along the southbound lanes of 35 near Topperwine, an area that we will watch closely, especially now that we are in morning rush. But not the only incident we're tracking. We have to take a big jump down over here, over to the south side, 410 southbound at Morrison Boulevard. Another crash reported. Now, this one looks like it could be in the clearing stages. I was just, again, speaking to our friends over at TransGuide. It does look like there's already a tow truck out there, so some good progress. Hopefully everybody's doing okay out there, but unfortunately, we still have this incident there that we are tracking, I-35 northbound at Division Avenue, where we did have that deadly incident involving a pedestrian that took place earlier this morning. And that's where we find our Katrina Weber, who is live right now. Katrina, what's the latest?
The police are taking their time doing this investigation, a very thorough investigation, but already they are telling me that this looks like just a horrible accident, that the driver of the pickup who hit and killed a woman this morning apparently did not do anything wrong. You can see the truck here with a lot of front end damage. This truck hit a woman who actually was outside her car after an earlier accident. Now, that accident involved these other vehicles you see here stopped on the side of the highway, that 18-wheeler and the woman's car. Police say that right here by the exit ramp is where that initial crash happened. The woman and the driver of the 18-wheeler had gotten out of their vehicles to exchange information after a crash, and police say that's when the pickup came along. The driver, apparently not seeing the woman who was outside her car, hit her and killed her. The pickup came to a stop here on the access road. The woman's body tossed about 10 to 20 yards ahead of that, and police have been here ever since. They have shut down this access road. They also have that exit ramp closed to traffic. This is the northbound side of I-35 near Division, and so this will remain this way until they are they have completed that investigation. But again, a woman hit and killed after getting out of a car from a previous accident. Reporting live on the south side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you. We're learning more about two people who were arrested here in San Antonio in connection with a child sex abuse case. These mugshots just into our newsroom this morning. 39-year-old Christopher Tomley and his wife, 32-year-old Ashley Tomley. They were arrested yesterday and face charges including continuous sexual abuse of a child and child endangerment. Now, overnight, we read their arrest report, and the details are simply too graphic to share on air. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar said the couple abused a female relative for years. The victim is now in the custody of Child Protective Services.
A 12-year-old boy is in surgery after police say his 13-year-old sister stabbed him at a home on Wood Lake Parkway. Now, officers tell us that the siblings got into an argument just before 8 last night, and that is when police say the sister attacked her brother with at least 2 kitchen knives. Because the 13-year-old suspect is a juvenile, she was not questioned at the scene. She will be taken to the Juvenile Detention Center.
Next Tuesday will mark 1 year since the disappearance of little Lena Kill. Remember her? The 3-year-old last seen at her apartment complex on Fredericksburg Road and Blue Mill on the northwest side of town. She vanished without a trace. Leaders with the Islamic Center here were at one point offering a $250,000 reward for more information. The SAPD and FBI continue to actively work on the case. If you know anything, you're asked to contact authorities immediately. Some other top stories we're following for you this morning. The family of Athena Strand, that North Texas girl reportedly killed by a contracted delivery truck driver, is now suing the driver, his employer, and Federal Express.
The lawsuit names driver Tanner Lynn Horner, FedEx, and the subcontractor that employed Horner, Big Topspin. The suit accuses the two companies of gross negligence. Strand's mother says Horner dropped off her daughter's Christmas present, a box of Barbie dolls, before killing her.
Now, police say Horner led them to the girl's body. He also confessed to kidnapping, strangling her after accidentally hitting her with his delivery truck. Horner said he was afraid she was going to tell her father about the accident. Jail records show Horner is still incarcerated in lieu of a $1.5 million bond.
The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a stopgap bill to avert a government shutdown by the end of the week. The bill now goes to the Senate for approval before President Joe Biden can sign it into law.
That's right. Funding is currently set to expire tomorrow night at midnight. This measure would extend that for another week until Friday, December 23rd. That would give Congress time to finalize a broader full-year government funding deal. Negotiators have said they reached a framework for a spending bill, but more work needs to be done.
Severe weather is impacting much of the country right now. The death toll is rising after tornadoes swept across the New Orleans area last night.
That's right. This morning, parts of the mid-Atlantic from Virginia to Pennsylvania are bracing for a big winter storm. ABC's Morgan Norwood has more.
This morning, the damage is described as catastrophic in areas around New Orleans after suspected tornadoes slammed southeast Louisiana.
Tornado is still there.
The mayor of Gretna says up to 5,000 buildings are likely damaged in her town.
Glass breaking. It sounded like my roof was coming off.
Amanda Dufresne and her two kids tried to take shelter in the bathroom as a tornado tore apart their home in Jefferson Parish.
I didn't even get to the bathroom yet. I just grabbed the kids, put them on the ground and got on top of them.
You covered your kids with your body?
I covered my kids with my body and just prayed that it wouldn't even pick me up or them.
At least 4 people were hospitalized when a tornado moved into New Orleans.
New Orleans now under a tornado warning. The rotation about 5 miles that way, just over the Mississippi. But with all this rain, we won't see it coming, and it's heading right for downtown.
Authorities say 1 person was killed in St. Charles Parish, raising the storm death toll in Louisiana to 3.
It's just going to be hard to accept, that this is happening a week before Christmas.
At least 42 tornadoes have been reported across 4 states since Tuesday. 1,000 miles north, the same weather system fueling blizzard conditions in the plains and upper Midwest. And this morning, parts of Virginia, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania are bracing for a dangerous ice storm. Cities along the I-95 corridor face a wintry mix before heavy snow moves into the interior northeast.
That's a prime example of it's a rainstorm right now, but we are looking at it to making sure it's a rainstorm. If that does change, if that track moves, we'll be ready.
Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Trending right now over on KSAT.com, city council members recently brought up the notion of banning those horse-drawn carriages you may have seen in downtown San Antonio. And according to one of our polls, it turns out most people want them banned as well.
So data from poll takers who reside in San Antonio specifically shows that about 57% of locals said yes to the ban and 43% said no to the ban. You can weigh in right now on our website at KSAT.com. And time is running out to donate to the Salvation Army's Parade of Kettles campaign. The money raised will be given back to those in need.
Every donation helps no matter how big or small. You can donate by scanning the QR code on your screen. It'll take you straight to the donation page. 641, we've dropped now to 35 degrees.
Yes, chilly out there for sure. And still ahead on GMSA, working out is key for a healthier lifestyle. So which exercises are best for you? We're going to hear from the experts after the break. And welcome back at 6:44. So exercise is something that can help you live longer and a healthier life. But when is the best time to start working out? And what kinds of exercises are best for you?
We're talking about all this as I'm planning my Chick-fil-A order. Most people would agree working out in your 20s is a lot different than working out in your 70s. Nancy Alvarez has more on the best workouts for every age range.
The Mayo Clinic says everyone, no matter your age, should strive to get 30 minutes of exercise each day. But what types of activities are most beneficial for your age? Experts say in your 20s,
you can do more physical activity.
The CDC says 20-somethings need 30 minutes of weight training, followed by 30 minutes of cardio, and 45 to 60 minutes of straight cardio 3 times a week. When you turn 30, your metabolism starts to drop by 2% every decade. Strive for 1 hour of circuit training 4 times a week, plus at least 1 day of cardio for 45 to 60 minutes at a high intensity. In your 40s, cardio work at least 3 days a week is important for keeping weight under control, and resistance training is crucial now. In your 50s, warming up with a walk or light yoga and weight training are musts.
Definitely want to stay away from high impact and high interval training, but you still want to keep that cardio going.
In your 60s, you may wonder where your metabolism went. In fact, researchers at the University of Pittsburgh found an average gain of 12 pounds 8 years after menopause. This is a perfect time for lower impact HIIT workouts. Strength training is also essential for helping to maintain bone density and muscle mass. In your 70s and beyond, work out 3 days a week with lighter weights. Walk whenever possible and do daily stretch and balance exercises. I'm Nancy Alvarez reporting.
And Burton Shaw says the best age to start training regularly is between 15 and 18 years old.
Good luck with that. Right now, 6:46, 35 degrees.
Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos.
All right. Well, you know, we have been keeping a very close eye on a few incidents on the roadways, guys. 35 at Division. Let's get a shot here from TransGuide. And you can see this is pretty much the same scene that we showed you earlier, where we did have that deadly incident involving a pedestrian and a vehicle. Unfortunately, the news just doesn't look any better here when it comes to traffic. As we get you to the map, you see more of that buildup taking place out there. And that's what we anticipated, especially now that we are in that morning rush hour. So as Katrina Weber mentioned a little bit earlier from the scene, the investigation is still ongoing. Right now, we do know that exit to Division Avenue is closed off. Have to take a jump up here, 35 southbound at Topper Wine Road. It does appear that this crash may have already cleared out, but notice that we still have that slowdown as you're approaching the Alamo City, perhaps from Live Oak. That's expected at this time, especially with more folks getting their morning started early with us. And it's exactly the same thing that we're seeing along US 90 in those eastbound lanes as you approach 1604. More slowdowns are expected now that we are getting into a busier time on the roadways. But again, the busy spot here and the one that we're really concerned with is going to be 35 northbound at Division Avenue. I can expect that this will be there for a little while longer as we see more folks making their way out. Expect to see some slowdowns.
Thank you, Stephen. I just saw a post from a viewer on my KSAT Facebook page that said, tell Mike Ostrich to turn the heat up, way up.
Was that from Justin Horn?
No, it was not from meteorologist Justin Horn.
Not from Max either.
Add an extra sweater or something like that.
Just for a little while.
If I had that much control anyway, but yeah, it's nice to have cooler temperatures. All right, caption contest.
Yes.
Go. What is Scooter thinking?
Where is my gift?
Okay.
Good one.
What else?
This train better have some biscuits on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I can't think that fast, guys. I'm sorry.
This train is so loud.
If that goes around one more time, or he's like, if I move my paw over just a little bit,
we have a derailment.
I gotta knock that thing off the track. So I love the little side eye it's given. It's a great picture. Thank you again for the KSAT Connect pictures. All right, take a moment, take a look at your screen. This is absolutely gorgeous out there. This is just a nice little sample of things to come today. Nothing but blue skies and sunshine out there. And cooler temperatures, yes, I know. 36 degrees, 35 at Lotus, and a lot of freezing temperatures in portions of the hill country. We may fluctuate another degree or two. One thing, there's enough of a breeze, not much, which is why we got so cold, but makes it feel like 32 out there. 30 at Port SA is the wind chill, 27 right now in Hondo. And yeah, temperatures are going to be warming up quite nicely. We will gain 30 degrees throughout the course of the day. 63 at noon, high temperature up to 67, more like it as far as normal high temperatures, which right now is 65. All right, we have got nothing on radar as of right now. Now, this is the big storm system, which is that's what brought tornadoes around Dallas a couple of days ago. Brought in the front that brought in this beautiful weather for us, has been producing severe weather down to the southeast United States. This thing is finally going to work its way up. Blizzard conditions, by the way, up to the north. That will finally work back up into Canada and just kind of get on out of here. But we're still going to be on the cooler side. That orangey yellowy color is still going to be pushed down to the south of us, so we're not going to see any above normal temperatures going in through the weekend and into the first part of next week. We get a little reinforcing shot of some cooler air coming in here by this weekend. Then we go into the middle part of next week. Another big batch of cold air. This is one I've been kind of looking at the past couple of days. That's going to be working its way down into the United States. However, a lot of the latest computer models do have this working further to the east of us. I think we will be grazed by it as it looks right now, but not just this cold mass of air settling in on top of us. Again, this is still more than a week away, so we're still going to have to keep watching that. Nothing is written in stone as of right now, but as far as just this huge blast of cold air, it doesn't look like that's going to be in the offing for Christmas weekend. Cold temperatures, though, it'll still be below normal. 63 today at noon, sunny skies. High temperature makes it up to 67 today. Plenty of sunshine out there. And then tomorrow, we will have some clear skies overnight, but clouds move back in here fairly quickly, and we'll have temperatures stay cooler because of, in part, the cloud cover. Front moves on through here, just sort of a little reinforcing shot of cooler air, and that keeps us at 48 along with the clouds and some couple of showers on Saturday. Another chance of rain on Monday. And again, all those temperatures across the board there are at or below their respective normals.
Appropriate for winter.
Yep.
Official winter.
Starts Monday, or Wednesday, I mean.
Thank you,
Sorry.
It's okay. 651, 35 degrees.
Not that it's not right in front of me there.
That's true. And looking ahead, graduation season is here again, so we're celebrating the best and brightest grads across the Alamo City. The amazing stories of two women who walked the stage at UTSA. That's tomorrow on GMSA.
Outside with live cam, son of a nutcracker. It is cold out there this morning. You're watching GMSA. We'll be right back.
Traffic troubles remain at 6:55 this morning. Let's get a quick look. 35 at Division Avenue. Now, we still have this trouble out there. This is that incident involving a pedestrian and a vehicle. Katrina Weber has been live there throughout the morning, and we do know that at least one person died from their injuries. It's a story we're going to continue to work on throughout the morning, but for now, if you were traveling in those northbound lanes of 35 near Division Avenue, you will see a slowdown. Just check out that map. Yellow and red is what's plaguing those roadways right now, so just be sure to watch out for those first responders this morning.
All right, gorgeous morning. Grab sunglasses if you're heading east and grab a coat. It is cold out there. Boy, just beautiful clear skies. It is going to be every bit as pretty as what it was yesterday. We're 36 right now. A lot of freezing readings in parts of the hill country, and then a big warm up today up to 67. Again, plenty of sunshine, and then we are going to be even cooler tomorrow, even cooler over the weekend.
It's going to be a pretty afternoon.
Yeah, gorgeous afternoon.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for joining us today.
Good Morning America is next.